In this video, we will be discussing different representations of functions. By the end of the video, you will be able to represent relations and functions using concrete, verbal, numeric, graphic, and algebraic forms. Let's take a look at how we can translate English or verbal language to algebraic language. We can represent words with algebraic symbols. This table will help you determine what to write when you see each of these different words. So let's start here with the domain. You might see the phrase each element in the domain. And when you see that, let's remember that the domain refers to our x values. Similarly, when we see range, or each element in the range, we want to remember that that represents our y values. 1/2 of each element in the domain, 1/2, we can write that down first, 1/2 of each element in the domain. Remember that domain is my x values, 1/2 x. When we refer to a number, there's a few different things that you can write. You can really write any variable, but when we see a number, we like to use n to represent a number, but you can also use x or any letter, such as G. You are just representing a value with a variable. So any variable will work there. N, X, G, any letter you'd like to use. We're going to stick with N through the rest of our examples. So for our next one, twice a number, or a number that's doubled, remember that a number is going to be our N. And if we're taking twice it or doubling it, I want to write 2n. If you had chosen x to represent a number, you would write 2x, twice a number or a number doubled. In our next example, 1/3 of a number, we would use a similar pattern. 1/3 n, 1/3 of an unknown value of my number. The next example, 7 more than h, or 7 added to h. We think of addition, so we're going to put our h first and add 7 to it. 7 more than h. Whatever value h has, we're looking for 7 more than that. The next two can get kind of tricky. Let's look at, we have 7 less than g. This can also be represented by 7 subtracted from g, or g subtracted by 7. Notice how my 7 and my g switched places here. 7 subtracted from g, g subtracted by 7. So I'm taking my value of g and taking 7 away from it. 7 less than g, 7 subtracted from g, and g subtracted by 7, all represented the same way, g minus 7. Now we're going to look at the opposite of that, 7 minus g. So in this case, I'm starting with the value of 7 and taking away g. 7 minus g. Note the difference between those two. When we see the words same or is, we want to use the equal sign. Lastly, the square of a number. When I want to square a number, remember we're going to use n to represent a number. So I'm going to put n, and I'm going to square it, the square of a number. You will notice that we have reached the end of our video. We will continue the rest of these notes when we get to class.